Costco. You can't miss it. Exclusive to Costco members.
Encounter Jesus, experience grace at Olivet Lutheran Church. We offer multiple styles of worship services. Our Sunday morning 8:30 worship is filled with traditional hymns led by the organ. If contemporary music is more your style, the Sunday morning 10:30 service will be what you're looking for. And our Wednesday 6 p.m. service is quiet, contemplative, and acoustic. Worship with us online on our YouTube channel. To find out more, visit olivet.org. Encounter Jesus, experience grace at Olivet Lutheran Church.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday afternoon. Fairly nice out there. It's a nice way to start off the week. 2 nice days in a row, at least temperature-wise. It'd be nice if we had a little more sunshine, but it's 31 degrees, and you get what you get, so be happy with that. It's been a fairly mild winter.
Is it really 31?
It is 31 degrees.
Where?
Right here in Fargo.
Where in Fargo?
Oh, right here where I'm sitting inside of this room.
Funny.
Glass doors, too, 31.
I say it says 28 here at the studio.
28 on top of the building, 31 at the airport. What's Endon say?
29.
Oh, would you look at that? Man, I wonder what temperature it actually is. Should we just average them out and say it's 30? There you go. It's 30 degrees outside. Feels a little closer to the low 20s, though, due to wind out of the south at 10 miles an hour. We've got a rundown on that forecast coming up here in just a bit. Program phone numbers, 701-293-9000 if you want to join in on our conversation today, ask some questions, have a little bit of fun with us. We're all game for that. Also, email inboxes weather or ag at flagfamily.com. And as well, since Bridgette's not here, we might as well bug her from the studio. If you want to just message her directly as well, you can do that if you just so happen to have her phone number.
Well, maybe we should give out her cell.
701-293-9000 is the studio line that you can use.
I guess there was a report earlier. John called in. Now, I'm not seeing anything, and we can see all the way down to where this accident is, but was that northbound or southbound?
That's southbound.
Oh, it's southbound, so we can't see it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
no, we can't from here. So supposedly, John called in just earlier. If you're just joining us, there's a multi-car pileup on 29 southbound, right by the mall.
Yeah, West Acres and 13th Avenue exit. The right 2 lanes are closed on I-29 southbound.
So if you're coming in from Grand Forks area, going to be a little delayed there.
Better get out of here before the other lane shut down. You got this?
Yeah.
You got the show today?
You're sticking here, buddy.
Are you sure?
I'm very sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Might have to push the envelope on that one later on. Yeah, I'm going to go fill my water cup up. Man, he's been gone a long time. I hope he's coming back soon. Well, we got some fun things coming up on the show. Not quite sure how many giveaways we'll do, but we do have a couple boat show tickets that we'll going to be giving away throughout the course of this week. Got a rain gauge or 2 that we'll give away throughout this week as well. Are we going to do any of that today, Dean? Do you want to give something away?
We'll do it. We'll do it later in the show.
Later in the show?
We'll do it later in the show. We've got definitely some boat show tickets. We might have something else to throw in there.
Yeah, we got a few things. And also we have a guest that should be joining us in about 12 minutes from now. That's going to be, I believe it's Laura Adams, but Donald might be with her. And this is just a fun, cool story that you actually came across the other day.
One of my friends that I used to work with, she works for a Farm Bureau right now out in D.C., and they had a Dog of the Year. Was it? It was a Farm Dog of the Year. His name is Skippy, and it was awarded to Laura and Don Adams. They have a farm down in Georgia, so you're probably thinking, well, Farm Dog of the Year, and why was Skippy awarded Farm Dog of the Year to this farmer down in Georgia? And we'll have that story. It's a cute story, and it's kind of a touching story too. He's very lucky that he's got this dog, and I know Laura, his wife, is supposed to be joining us, and I believe her husband was going to be going through some therapy this morning, and that's part of the story. So It's a pretty cool story. I think you'll like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. So,
And
we'll
if you're a
hopefully
dog,
have
if you're a
that.
dog lover, you'll absolutely love this story.
Yeah, so we're hoping to have that in about 10 minutes from now. You told her Central Time, right?
I did.
All right, good.
No.
Oh, Eastern
I
time?
figured I'd leave that out.
Well, guessing games. It's gotten us before.
It has. Actually. It actually has.
Well, that's one of the issues when you get guests from across the country. How many time zones have we hit now? What's Hawaii? What's Hawaii's?
Yeah, we've had Hawaii. We've had
Coast.
We've had Saskatchewan, so that's basically mountain time, Central Time,
Eastern.
and so we've hit them all. We haven't
Had
hit
someone in Europe on before, haven't we? I don't remember.
We need to hit like Puerto Rico now or something.
Oh, what do they grow down in Puerto Rico?
Everything.
Kiwi? Is kiwi grown down there? Have we had a kiwi farmer on?
We have not. No, that's next.
Kiwi? Oh, dragon fruit.
There you go.
I actually knew someone who grew dragon fruit.
Really?
Yeah. It's a cool looking plant, and you hold it up with 2x4s.
How big does it get?
It's like a little small tree, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of goofy. But anyways, jump back on track. We got a forecaster run down.
Yeah, the wheels
here
are coming
because
off
it's,
here. Yep.
Fairly nice week ahead, although cloudy and I think foggy.
Yeah, not much sun this week, that's for sure. And be careful over the next couple of mornings. Your morning commute could be slowed by some pretty thick fog. Not everybody's going to see it, but there will be some areas that do have some very dense fog over the next couple of mornings. Currently, here at the studio, 29. With a wind out of the southeast, about 5 to 15 across the area. Look for temperatures in the low 30s this afternoon. A little cooler in the far northern valley. And then tonight, it does turn a bit breezy. Southeast winds 10 to 20. And we'll see fog developing after midnight. Lows in the mid-20s. That's it. We're not going to drop off much. And then fog. In fact, this fog might be tough to burn off on Wednesday. So we'll just call it foggy most of the day. At least the first half of the day. Low to mid-30s, and then fog thickens back up as we head into Wednesday night, Thursday morning, with highs in the low 30s. And then I think we'll see a little more sunshine on Friday, mid-30s. 30s over the weekend, and early next week, I do believe we'll crack 40. And we were talking in the weather office on what a swing in temperatures. 120-degree swing in temperatures across the state from just a week ago to next week. So a 2-week span, 120. And now we're factoring in wind chills, with wind chills out west of 70 below just the other week. And by next week, they'll be pushing 50.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
That's a big spread.
It's the second most extreme weather swings, climates, I guess however you would want to put it, in the whole world.
120 degrees?
Well, generally our climate. You think about if you go from that to summer, it'll be an even bigger jump because, more than likely they'll probably push close to 100 degrees with real feels into the hundreds at least. So that'd be a 150-degree swing from January to probably July or August, somewhere in there.
That's
You know what place
why you gotta
beats
love
us?
living here. Who?
Siberia. Siberia is the only other place that gets that large of a swing in temperatures and weather.
Yeah.
That's something else.
I'll take North Dakota over Siberia.
Are you sure?
Quite positive.
I hear the taiga is beautiful.
Well,
Or tundra.
why don't you go check that out?
Taiga.
Why don't you go
They
check
got
that out?
mountains.
Oh, man.
You not a mountain lover, Dean?
Yep. Mountain.
You used to live up on the mountains.
Used to live in the mountains
Yeah.
when we were producing moonshine out in West Virginia, but we gave that up.
Car's not fast enough?
The car's not fast enough?
I don't know.
No, my workers weren't producing it fast enough.
Or they were drinking it too fast.
No, John was not working with us. John was not employed with us at the time.
But he is employed with you now.
Well, I'm not sure as what. I've got to
Maybe we'll just keep that one on the side there.
Right. Oh, man. Well, I don't see our guest. Our guest is not connected as of yet. So what we're going to do, we've got American Ag Network. And when we come back, hopefully we have our guest connected with us. And we'll be talking with Lauren Don Adams. And they had the 2024 Farm Dog of the Year awarded to them. Pretty cool story. So we'll have more on that. If you have any questions for us or for our guests when they come on, 701-293-9000. That's our Red Wing Shoes hotline. That's 701-293-9000. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Livestock complex is higher today, led by the hogs. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Risvet with this market update. After running into long-term resistance levels late last week, live cattle futures are skeptical of trading too boldly. Thankfully, this week's slaughter is expected to be more aggressive as packers will have the full week to process cattle, and stronger box beef prices should encourage them even more. Friday's cattle on feed report isn't having much of an effect on the market as traders deem the report's data as pretty much neutral, but looking for strong demand factors or an uptick in the cash market to spark prices higher. Last week's negotiated cash cattle trade was disappointing as very few cattle traded, but of the few cattle that did trade, northern dressed cattle sold for $272 to $277, mostly at $274. That is $1 higher than the previous week. Southern live cattle traded for mostly $173. That is also $1 higher than the week before. The week's volume of negotiated cash cattle sales totaled 37,348 head, of which 87% are committed for nearby delivery, while the remaining 13% are for deferred. Box beef prices are higher. Choice up $2.31 and select up $2 with a movement of 41 loads. Now, like the cattle complex, the lean hog market has been off to a slow start today. Midday carcass price is well supported as most of the cuts are seeing better interest and therefore higher prices. We're going to look at the livestock numbers next. You're listening to the American Ag Network.
When news happens in agriculture or when the markets are moving, we've got you covered as your trusted voice in agriculture. The team at the American Ag Network has the knowledge and experience to keep you informed on the issues impacting farmers and ranchers. We've got you covered on air, online, and on demand. Find the American Ag Network on your favorite social media platforms, and also follow the American Ag Today podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We are the American Ag Network.
Make sure to subscribe to the Market Talk YouTube channel. You can watch our latest interviews with top market analysts in the country, find bonus content, and much more. It's easy. Just go to youtube.com/@MarketTalkAg and hit the subscribe button. Or you can search for Market Talk Ag on YouTube.
Get the latest bonus interviews, exclusive content, and more with the American Ag Today podcast. Just search for American Ag Today and give us a follow wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's get a look at the livestock numbers. Live cattle February down 35 at 174.02. April down 15 at 177.22. June up 22 at 174.55. And the August live cattle, they're up 20 at 174.97. Feeders January down 12 at 229.97. March down 37 at 231.57. Lean hogs February up 20 at 70.95. April down 15 at 78 even. And the May lean hogs, they're down 47 at 83.50. The Dow right now is up almost 100 points. The dollar sits at 103.1, with crude oil trading up over $2 at right around $75.50 a barrel. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Ristvet.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. I want to thank everybody for joining us here on Tuesday, January 23rd. It's 1:18 in the afternoon, and we have our special guests on here. So every year, Farm Bureau awards what's called the Dog of the Year. And this year, our Dog of the Year, our Farm Dog of the Year, goes to Laura and Don Adams. They are farmers down in Georgia, and I believe we've got Laura on the line. Laura, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
I'm certainly glad to be here.
All right. So why don't you tell us what is the Farm Dog of the Year, and how did you guys come to get this lovely dog?
Okay, well, the Farm Dog of the Year was started 6 years ago by Farm Bureau in Perena, and we are the sixth recipient and the first one from Georgia. The way we got involved with it is a contest you submit, and they pick the top 10, and then they go to a different panel, and they pick the winner. They're looking for dogs, not that are maybe the best, show dog that could go win a contest, but a dog that contributes to a farm every day and is part of the family. So they're looking for a dog that loves its owner and loves its job. How we got Skippy is a little unique in what makes her special. But I have to back up and tell you a little bit about why we got her.
Sure.
In 2019, the day after Thanksgiving, my husband had an accident where a 700 to 1,000 pound bale of hay, when they were loading a hay wagon, fell on the back of his head.
Oof.
It basically broke his neck, then his spinal cord, and paralyzed him from the neck down. He was declared a quadriplegic. Well, we all know about farmers, and farmers are a resilient lot. Today, he's walking on canes with a lot of therapy and a lot of farm therapy. So the way we got Skippy is through an organization called Farm Dog, and it's spelled DHARM Dog, and she's out of Missouri. And the trainer that trains Skippy is out of Laos. And what they do is they rescue the dogs and they give them to disabled farmers and train them for whatever their needs. Well, we have 200 head of cattle, and obviously we needed a cow dog.
Right. And what kind of dog is Skippy?
Okay, Skippy is a mixed dog. She is primarily Border Collie with a little bit of California Hound and a little bit of Australian Shepherd. And the California Hound gives her those foxy ears.
Right. And great herding dogs. That's a great breed.
Oh, yes.
Great breed for herding. That's for sure.
So, Laura, what do you guys... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, everybody thinks they know what a cow dog does. They herd cows. They herd the sheep. They herd the animals.
Mm-hmm.
They have no idea what these dogs can do. They can watch a gate when you go in and keep a cow from coming. They can be ahead of you moving cows and watch the gate and not let them out. When you go to feed in the trough, they can, keep the cattle off you so you don't get bumped. It's just amazing what they can do.
Right. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what your operation looks like down there in Georgia? What are you doing? Is it just cattle? Or are you farming? A little bit of both? And then how important of a role is Skippy playing in that operation now, especially with Don having his injury that he's recovering from?
Well, we have 200 head of cattle, and they're spread out in several, different pastures, of course. And I recently have bought 14 cattle that I am now a cattle owner myself, because all these were Donald prior to me being involved. And we don't leave the house without Skippy and the Ranger. I think she would be very unhappy with us if we did. She's up every morning, and to use, John Wayne's adage, we're burning daylight. She's ready to go. And a day we could move cows into a pen for feed. We could, feed cows here. It's morning feed and afternoon feeding and whatever else is going on that day.
That's great. So how many each year, how many people apply for this Farm Dog of the Year?
I understand it was like 300 that applied this year, but they had to throw some out because they didn't follow the rules. They, didn't fill it out completely, whatever. I know when we made the top 10 that then it went to a separate panel and you had to do a phone interview. So it's not just, submit a, application and you get it. It's a process.
Gotcha. So how important, obviously Skippy can help you guys do chores. How important has it been to have Skippy on the farm in terms of the improvement of your husband? Yeah. How much has it improved or helped him?
Well, just like today, there was some calves that were in the feeder, eating, and after an hour you get them out because we're not going to let them have free choice. And he basically turned Skippy out from the Ranger and told her to get him out, and she got him out by herself. She takes directions from the Ranger and from him walking with the canes. So pretty much he can do some things independently. Some things he still needs help with. For example, once he gets on the tractor, he can't get off the tractor to cut the net route, to roll out the hay.
Mm-hmm. So what would have happened to your guys' operation had you never gotten Skippy? What would things look like? How would they be different? Would you still be trying to manage it? Would you have downsized? Or what do you think? What was going through your guys' mind initially after the accident?
Well, initially we did downsize a little bit and realized that was a mistake and just decided we needed to follow our original 5-year plan and grow to the numbers we needed. Skippy is probably saving us. I can give you a perfect example. We do winter grazing. So you turn the cows out on the winter grazing, 40 cows and 40 babies or however many there are, and then you get them up 2 hours later. Well, prior to that, getting Skippy, one of the ways we had to get them up was with cubes. Well, cubes are very costly when you're using them every day. Right now, all we do is drive out there in the Ranger and tell Skippy to get them up. We don't have to put out any more cubes. So it's labor savings. So obviously, that type of work, we don't have to have as many people helping us because she can, get the cows up by herself pretty much.
Right. That's super cool. And on the training side of this, I know that you said you had gotten Skippy. She was pre-trained, right? Was already trained how to kind of do the work?
Yes, sir. Don McKay in Iowa trained her and taught me all the commands. I had never had a cow dog in my life. Donald never had one. And boy, I wrote a book because I had to make a list of all the commands. She knew probably 25 different commands when she came. Now, the one command she did not know was how to tag calf. And the first time we tagged calf and the mama went to bellowing, she went the other way. By about the third calf, she had figured it out, and she's over there dancing with the mama while we're tagging the calf.
So what was your guys' thoughts when you I guess what I'm trying to get at here is, how did you come to the conclusion that you were going to get a farm dog to help out with the operation? Was this recommended to you by someone? Was this something that you guys had thought in your mind?
Both. There's an organization called Agribility that runs under USDA, and what they do is they come out and help farmers who are hurt farm again, and they use assisted technology. Mm-hmm. So they recommended a farm dog, and then Shepherd's up in Atlanta, which is a spinal cord and brain injury known globally, recommended that a dog would be used on the farm. So we had two recommendations.
Okay. And how long did it take you guys how was it when you first got Skippy? Did you think that this was going to be a fit? Did you think it was going to work? Was there any getting used to this new lifestyle with the farm dog?
Yes, they have. Jackie is the one that runs Farm Dog, and it's called the 333. It takes 3 days for her to get over the shock of being transported. Mm-hmm. It takes 3 weeks for her to get to know our routine, and 3 months to truly trust us. So it was a process, but when Don brought her in, he spent 3 days here, and he helped orient her to the cows, and our cows had never seen a dog, so the cows had to be conditioned to the dog as well. And it was pretty obvious within those 3 months. I wouldn't even say 3 months, 2 months. She had taken over the farm. It was hers. She had the cows under control. She knew what was going on. And during that time, I think it was about 2 or 3 month mark, I was gone for a couple of days, and Donald was turning them out of winter grazing and not. And he was standing at the gate, with the canes and trying to open the gate. And the cows started pushing on the gate, and they were fixing to overrun him. It was 40 cows and 40-something babies. And Skippy saw, and without command, went around behind Donald and pushed those cows back.
Wow, that's
crazy.
That's cool.
So now we have a new rule. Skippy gets out first, the cows take 2 steps back, and then we open the gate.
So, Laura, was that the most unexpected thing that you thought that the dog was going to do on your farm and operate, or on your ranch and operation, or are there other kind of cool, bizarre things that you just didn't expect Skippy to do or be able to do that Skippy is doing now?
Well, she does try to boss and herd the two Dobermans and makes them look like wussies.
Oh, that's great. Well, Laura, if you can hang on with us, we're at the bottom of the hour. We have to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we've got a few more questions. If you have any questions for Laura, give us a call on our Red Wing Shoes hotline, 701-293-9000, 701-293-9000. Again, if you have any questions, give us a call, let us know. We'll have Laura back on here right after the break. Don't go anywhere.
At Pizza Done Right, it's all about the quality. Fresh handmade dough, delicious 3-cheese blend, and tangy sauce made from scratch every day. The name is there for a reason. Pizza Done Right, inside the bowler, where they pride themselves on serving up a top quality pizza at a reasonable price. Large 14-inch pizza starting at $14. Open at 5 p.m. weekdays and noon on weekends. Delicious, fresh-made pizza, wings, burgers, and more. Pizza Done Right, inside the bowler. Great for dine-in, carry-out, and delivery.
Good afternoon, I'm Tom Tucker, WDAY News First. Former North Dakota State Representative Rick Becker is talking about why he's running for Congress.
I think many of us agree that America is on a cliff, and there is no time like now to have true fighters that are going to go and do everything they can to fight against the progressive woke agenda that has essentially taken over our country.
Becker also says the failure to declare an illegal invasion at the border is grounds alone for impeaching President Joe Biden. He says House Republicans refuse to act. The Department of Defense is funding a new initiative that will help Minnesota military families afford the cost of child care. Military Child Care in Your Neighborhood Plus provides up to $1,800 a month to cover civilian child care services for eligible active duty families. And garbage pickup fees in West Fargo are going up. The City Commission has approved a 17% increase in sanitation bills beginning March 1st. The average resident with a 64-gallon bin will pay about $3 more per month. Also, those garbage pickup fees are set to increase further over the next 5 years. Commercial customers will also have to pay more. Tom Tucker, WDAY, and WDAYRadioNow.com.
I'm David. I love how CCRI helps me live independently.
At CCRI, we believe everyone deserves a fulfilling life and safe place to live.
Your support makes this possible for more than 400 people with disabilities in our community.
Donate to CCRI on Giving Hearts Day, February 8th, or now through early giving to help people with disabilities live their best lives.
Remember CCRI at Giving Hearts Day.
Hi, I'm Kevin Pfeiffer, America's Land Auctioneer, inviting you to listen to America's Land Auctioneer radio show every Saturday morning from 7 to 8. Each week we'll cover topics like buying and selling farmland, mineral rights, farmland valuations, and more. If it has to do with land, it's being talked about on America's Land Auctioneer with me, Kevin Pfeiffer, Saturday mornings at 7, here on AM 970 and FM 93.1 WDAY.
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. 1:33 in the afternoon, and temperatures outside 30 degrees.
Ooh, sweltering.
It's a heat wave here, that's for sure. Our guest today is Laura Adams, and Laura was the beneficiary of winning, I guess you could say, but receiving the 2024 Farm Bureau Farm Dog of the Year. And if you're just joining us, so Laura's husband had a significant accident which basically paralyzed him, so they needed help on the farm. And Skippy came along and was able to do a lot of the help around the farm when it comes to livestock. Now, Laura, livestock. What else do you farm down on your farm in Georgia?
We're pretty much, technically Georgia doesn't have ranches, but we do cattle and hay, and that's all.
Okay. Okay. And now, if in terms of Skippy, now, do you get to keep her for good, or is this a temporary thing and you have to return her to your trainer?
No, she's ours forever.
That's awesome.
That's great.
That's great. And so she helps you with in terms of the ranching and, you know, kind of herding the cattle and making sure that everything goes smooth. Is there anything behind the scenes like that she helps you guys with? And I'm sure just for with everything that your husband is going through in terms of therapy and everything and trying to learn how to walk, and hats off to him. What a strong individual, from being basically paralyzed to now at least being able to walk with canes. That's fantastic.
That's a huge step.
And like you said, that goes to show the strength of farmers and just the attitude and never give up. Does Skippy help behind the scenes with anything?
Yes, she does. She has another role. Like I told you earlier, I had bought 14 head of Gartner's Angus to start a selling meat online locally. And my spokesperson is Skippy. She has her own Instagram. And it feeds through to my website, coastalakersllc.com. So and it's done from her point of view. So when we announced the farm dog and put it on there, which I haven't had time to do yet because we just got home yesterday, she's going to be like, well, the lady tells me I got this great award, but I'm really more interested in the dog food I'll get.
Oh, that's great. And so was it a big adjustment for you? You have two other dogs. It sounded like you had two Dobermans, correct?
Correct.
And they're obviously they're there for not much help on the farm, and I could be wrong, but I know Dobermans, and they're more watchdogs than anything else. You know, they'll keep intruders away, that's for sure. How much of an adjustment was it for your other animals? I know you said it took your cattle a little long or a little while to get used to Skippy. What about any other livestock or your other dogs?
It really wasn't a big adjustment. I was a little concerned, but there's never been any issue with them. She has the one that's been there the longest that would be called a head dog. She challenges her every now and then, trying to, bite and bark and head her she handles 2,000-pound bulls. She can handle a Doberman.
Right.
They've had one go round. We had my first calf that was born out of the Gartners actually was stuck, and we had to get the vet out and pull her, and the mama rejected her, and I had her in the laundry room and had to clean her up. Well, Skippy went in to see her, and that was fine, but when the Doberman went in, Skippy jumped on the Doberman. She was protecting that calf even in the house.
Wow, that's super cool.
That's her farm, and those are her cows.
That's right.
Very smart.
Sure is. Were there any misconceptions that you had heard or maybe a thought about when getting a farm dog that just weren't true once Skippy arrived over there on your operation?
Not really. Like I said, she does so much more than I even anticipated. To me, it is a joy to watch her. And, I mean, there's times she'll look at me and I'll tell her to go by, and she'll look at me like, I know what I'm doing. Leave me alone. I got this. Or what is really fascinating to me is when she's watching a gate. Mm-hmm. If you can picture a cat ready to spring, that's what they look like.
Well, we got a lot of cattle operations up here in North Dakota, especially as you head west of the valley here, and it's a little bit over in Minnesota as well. And our farmers are like a lot of others; they're stubborn, and sometimes they might not want to ask for help. But what would you say to somebody who's maybe considering looking into getting a farm dog to help out on the operation? Maybe things are just getting a little difficult for them, or they've had to go through some injury and they can't quite. Aren't able to do everything that they used to be able to do. What would you say to somebody who's kind of on that line of looking into or thinking about maybe getting a little extra help on the operation from an animal?
I would tell them two things. One, with the dog, get a trained dog. because, you know, if they're not trained, they're going to cause you more problems than they're going to help. And number two, I would tell them to get with Agribility, because Agribility will come out and basically they assess the limitations of the person, they assess their operation, and they give you a plan, and then they help you get funding for it. So if anybody doesn't know about Agribility, they need to.
Right. You said that's Agribility?
It's Agribility. It's got an A in there.
Okay.
It's a USDA funded program.
Okay.
It's a USDA. And there's one more thing I'd like to share personally that this has changed for me. Historically, my career was in corporate America. I worked for Hewlett Packard. I sat in the boardrooms and was a consultant, you know, teaching, you know, CEOs how to make their IT better. Well, when the year before Donald's accident, we retired, so I was retired when Donald got hurt, but I was basically forced into the cows. I had to go with him. I had to learn the operation and all about the cows. And what I want to share is the dichotomy between, you know, working in corporate America, you think that's cool, and sitting in a boardroom, to a cow pen. There is something very special about taking care of the land, taking care of those animals, and sitting there and seeing a sunrise or a sunset. If you could bottle that up and sell it, we'd be billionaires.
That's true. No doubt about it.
Yes, it is.
And Laura, a few more questions here. Give us an update on Donald. How is he? Boy, it looks like he's progressed quite a bit. How's he been doing?
Donald is, you know, he's not where he wants to be, because if I ask him, he'd say he's not there. But we know a lot of other people that had this same accident, and he has progressed. It's a miracle. That's the best way to describe it.
Right.
And it's the miracle that he's put in the hours that a farmer will. I'll give you one example how the farm has helped him. The first year he was hurt and we were home, we had a chairlift that would raise him into the tractor. He would sideboard over. He was still in an electric chair, and he would sideboard over, and he'd go up in the tractor, and he would drive. Well, at the end of that season, when we were no longer feeding hay, the physical therapist, did the strength test on his left arm, and it improved a little bit. When she went to do the strength test on his right arm, it had increased like threefold.
Wow.
Because guess what side all the gear shifts are on?
The right side.
So that's an example of how farm, and he says that in the video. You've got to get up and keep going, and get up every day, get in the Ranger, even when you don't want to.
Right.
That's therapy. And he can now climb on the tractor by himself on a good day. On a bad day, he may need help lifting his leg. And he can do a lot of things independently. Shepherds called him their shining star and their poster child. Nobody expected a 66-year-old man to come back.
Wow. That gives you
really cool.
That gives you goosebumps. That is great. Now, how long has it been since Don's accident?
It was November 30th, 2019. So
okay.
A little sad story, but this year on November 30th, the day after Thanksgiving, we had a fire that burned up 300 bales of hay.
Oh.
Now, no longer are we doing Thanksgiving on a Friday, and we're all staying home, and we're not even going to do anything.
Right. I don't blame you. Now, if your husband, if Don had to give any advice to anybody about what's happened and how he's progressed, what kind of advice do you think Don would give people?
And I think he says it in the Farm Dog video. It's get up every day and go do something and have a purpose in life. Cows have always been his purpose, and he continued that. But if you're going to sit on the couch, that's what you're going to end up doing, sitting on the couch.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's get up and move. Get up and do something.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be complacent. And do what the PT tells you to do, too. He'll probably tell you that.
Got to
That's
listen.
always important.
Yeah.
Well, Laura, I want to really thank you for coming on, telling us about Don's story, your story with Skippy, and how the Farm Dog has helped out your operation and made it so that way you guys can continue to do what you guys love to do. do you want to share again that website of yours, or if anyone wants to get more information on Don's story, and then as well the social media page for Skippy, so people can go follow along what it's like in the eyes of a farm dog?
It is Coastal, Coastal, Acres, ACRES, and that is her Instagram, and that is, the website.
All right, and that was Coastal Acres, correct?
Yeah, it is LLC.
Yeah, and if you're watching us live stream, we just had that up there as well. So,
all right.
Well, Laura, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate the story, and what a godsend Skippy is for you guys. That's fantastic. We love to hear good felt stories like that, and hats off to your husband. Tell him to keep going, and
we're all rooting for him.
Yeah,
up here.
glad to hear he's doing much better now, and Godspeed for the future for you guys.
Thank you for having me.
All right. When we come back, we'll have a recap of the weather. We're going to be giving away those boat show tickets as well, and we might. You're going to need a bigger boat. Yeah, might have a little riddle for you to solve for a rain gauge as well. More on that coming up after the break.
Happy Harry's presents North Dakota's largest boat and marine products show, January 26th through the 28th at the Fargo Dome. See all the latest gear, all under one roof. It's the Boat and Marine Products Show, January 26th through the 28th at the Fargo Dome.
This Giving Hearts Day, donate to Fraser. Fraser is the longest-serving nonprofit organization in North Dakota and continues to meet the needs of children, youth, and adults in Fargo and surrounding areas. Fraser has grown significantly to include independent living support, residential and day support services for people with disabilities. This year's donations will be matched up to $125,000. There's no need to wait until Giving Hearts Day. Go to givingheartsday.org and select Fraser to give your donation today. Fraser, helping children, youth, and adults since 1893.
Kick off your new year with a new job with a company that is family-oriented and offers great pay and benefits and room to grow your career. Plains Grain and Agronomy is hiring immediately for grain sampler, custom applicator, Class A truck driver, and general laborers. Plains Grain and Agronomy looks forward to visiting with you. Apply online at plainsgrain.com. That's plainsgrain.com.
Your rural electric cooperatives care about safety. Ice storm debris still lines road ditches and fields, posing risks. Whether you're a snowmobiler or working on winter storm cleanup, be cautious. Debris could be hidden beneath the snow. Never go near downed power lines. Stay 30 feet away and keep loved ones at a safe distance. Always think safety first. A friendly reminder from Dakota Valley Electric and Cass County Electric, your Touchstone Energy cooperatives.
Ring in the new year with a new ride from Luther Family Buick GMC. Hurry in to take advantage of our amazing offers on every model, including up to $10,000 off the new 2023 GMC Sierra 1500. Or drive off in Buick's flagship Enclave Avenir, discounted up to $6,000. With rates as low as 1.9%, there's no better time to buy. Upgrade your sleigh at Luther Family Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Attention service technicians. Northern Plains Equipment, a certified Case IH dealer in Minot, Garrison, and Mandan, North Dakota, is looking for top-notch individuals to join their team and perform quality maintenance and repairs on all types of agricultural equipment. Northern Plains Equipment is a value-led 100% employee-owned company, offering competitive wages, benefits, and job training. If you're ready to work in a great environment with great people, apply at plainsag.com. Northern Plains Equipment, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
As Giving Hearts Day grows each year, the reason for the day remains the same. Support and celebrate the charities in our communities. Between now and February 8th, head to givingheartsday.org to make a financial gift to one of 600 charities, find a drop-off site for the Giving Hearts Day food drive, or find volunteer opportunities. Head to givingheartsday.org to give your way today.
Are you having transmission problems and struggling to find a place to work on it? I've got some exciting news for you. I'm Matthew from Fix It Forward Auto Care, and we're excited to announce that we're now offering full-service transmission repair for automotive and light truck applications, including repair, rebuilding, and replacement. If your transmission is making unusual noises, slips, or is leaking, stop by any of our 4 convenient FM locations so our skilled technicians can check it out. Fix It Forward Auto Care, the name you trust for car repair.
Fix It Forward Auto Care.
Happy Harry's presents North Dakota's largest boat and marine products show, January 26th through the 28th at the Fargo Dome. See all the latest gear, all under one roof. It's the Boat and Marine Products Show, January 26th through the 28th at the Fargo Dome.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus, 1:50 in the afternoon. Want to thank everybody for joining us.
This show's still going on?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
All right,
Cool.
so we've got a riddle here. So listen closely. You have to have the correct answer. If you get it correct, the first person to get it correct wins a rain gauge, and we're going to throw in a pair of boat tickets with this. Okay? Here's the riddle. You walk into a room. There's a bed, 2 nightstands, and a table. On the bed is a giraffe, a screaming goat, and a Tasmanian devil. On the table is a screaming frog, and what else do we have on the table?
Let's throw a sloth on there.
Oh, and a sloth. How many legs are on the floor? 701-293-9000. You walk into a room. There's a bed, 2 nightstands, and a table. On the bed is a giraffe, a screaming goat. On the table is a Tasmanian devil and a sloth.
There's also a screaming frog somewhere.
How many legs are on the table? On the table. How many legs are on the floor? Sorry.
There we go. Hi there, caller. Who are we talking to?
Aaron.
Aaron?
I'm going to guess 2, my own.
No. You are wrong.
You're on the...
But
that was my first guess.
That was Justin's first guess, too. So, again, you walk into the room. There is a bed, 2 end tables, and a table. You've got a giraffe, a screaming goat on the bed. And what do we have on the table? A Tasmanian devil and a sloth. And the frog. Okay. How many legs are on the floor?
Hi, Jeremy. You think you know how many legs are on the floor?
10.
10.
No,
not 10.
No, you're getting there.
We're going up. Hi, Ron. Do you think you know how many legs are on the ground or on the floor?
14.
14.
No.
That's bigger than 10, but not quite the number we're looking for. Thanks, Ron.
So again, you walk into a room. You've got a bed, 2 end tables, and a table. You've got a giraffe, a screaming goat. And let's put that sloth up back on the bed. On the table, you've got Tasmanian devil. And what else? Screaming frog?
Yeah, let's throw 2 frogs in there.
Okay. How many legs are on the floor?
Matthew, you think you get an idea?
Yep.
How many? 6.
No.
Nope. That's actually not the number we're looking for, but thanks for calling, Matthew. Try again. Who's been on here the longest? Man, Daryl, you've been waiting a long time. 20 seconds. What do you think?
I'm going to say 8.
8 is not it.
Oh.
It's close.
Well, maybe.
Well, maybe it's close. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
How many legs are on the floor?
Henry, do you think you know?
Hey, I'm going to guess 18.
Bingo!
18. How do you get 18?
Well, you had 4 objects with 4 legs in yourself.
There you go.
Yep, you got the 4 legs for each end table. That's 8. 4 for the bed. That's 12. You got 4 for the table. That's 16. And your 2 legs is 18.
But wait,
That's my math.
Henry, you forgot about the screaming goat.
Congratulations. We're going to put you on hold, and Jacob, our producer, will get you your information, and just feel free to stop by our studio during regular business hours and pick up your rain gauge and
boat show
tickets.
Are you going to buy a boat?
Perfect.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Any chance of buying a new one?
I'd like to.
I'd like to as well.
Let me tell one of the people we gave away tickets to last year. He came up and thanked me. He's like, "Hey, thanks." I asked him, "Do you want any extra tickets for this year's boat show?" He's like, "No. You gave them to me last year, and I bought a new boat. Thanks a lot." So have fun at the boat show. Enjoy the rain gauge, and good guess. That was a good guess.
That was a good guess.
We have time.
Right on. What we got time for? We got like 5 minutes.
Well,
let's
let's run down a recap of the weather real quick. A lot of clouds out there with temperatures hugging the 30-degree mark under cloudy skies. Winds are not too strong out there. Southeast about 5 to 15. Those southeast winds will ramp up a little bit tonight, about 10 to 20, and we'll see a low only in the mid-20s. So temperatures aren't going to drop off a lot from where they're at. And we're going to see fog pull into the area as we head into the morning hours. So your morning commute tomorrow might be a little slow due to dense fog. Now,
I can't see.
Yeah, now it's going to be more dense in some areas than others. So I'm sure there's going to be a dense fog advisory issued for parts of the area as we head into tomorrow morning. It's going to be tough for that fog to burn off tomorrow. So many areas might kind of stay socked in that fog most of the day.
I still can't see.
And we'll have temperatures tomorrow into the mid-30s. More fog tomorrow night and Thursday morning. So your morning commute is going to be affected not only tomorrow morning, but more than likely Thursday morning as well. And temperatures on Thursday falling off a little bit, but still above normal, around 31. And then we're in the 30s all weekend. Now, we'll finally see some sunshine at the end of the week and into the upcoming weekend. So that's good there. And then as we head into next week, we're seeing some pretty strong signals that, yes, we're going to warm up to at least 40, if not a bit warmer than that. So something we'll keep an eye on to end the month and start off. Now, according to the LRC, we are supposed to have some cooler weather come in at the early part of April, but there's a couple of different factors that are affecting this that weren't around in the first or in the previous cycle. So, and remember that Christmas storm that we had, the big ice storm, big rainstorm.
Yeah.
According to the LRC, that is supposed to be back right around the 6th, wasn't it?
I think it was 7th or 8th.
February 6th through 8th, right around that time frame. Now, again, things are a little different in this cycle. We are seeing signs that the storm is going to be there. Does it affect us in the same way? That's the thing. So
wait and see.
Yeah. So something we'll be keeping an eye on, and I see cooler weather coming in the early part of February, but I'm not seeing seeing Arctic air coming in like we had just last week. So, and as we thought, once it does return, it's not going to be as severe.
Nah, that'll probably be the coldest stretch that we will experience this winter, and
with what we just had.
Yeah, and compared to cold that we've had in the past, this was a relatively short-lived one. It just kind of came in really hard and took off quick. What was it? Only 10 days.
10 days.
Of
Yep.
Really, a week of really cold and 10 days of it just being cold.
And there's a lot of influences on the LRC. And again, it's, we've got El Nino starting to weaken now, and we're getting pretty strong signals that next winter we're going to go into another La Nina pattern, which is typically a colder pattern, not always, but typically. And if you remember our last strong La Nina, which was last year, how snowy it was here.
Those were some really deep trenches I was able to carve into the driveway last year.
Not this year.
I've only got about 9 to 12 inches of trenches carved in this year.
There's not much this year.
Unfortunately.
So, enjoy this stretch of mild weather for Justin and myself. Want to thank everybody for joining us today on Weather and Ag in Focus. Don't go anywhere. The number one afternoon show, the Jay Thomas Show, is coming up next.
It's hockey time tonight at Moorhead Sports Center. This is Larry